Thank you for tuning in to NSUSpartans.com, fueled by Gatorade. I'm Matt Mihalik from the Norfolk State Sports Information Office, joining you today from the 2014 MEAC Football Media Day here at the Waterside Marriott Hotel in downtown Norfolk. Coaches and players from all 11 MEAC football playing institutions give their insights on the upcoming 2014 season. Here today from Norfolk State, we're joined by Lynden Trail, senior linebacker from Miami, Florida, as well as senior offensive lineman Justin Myler from Woodbridge, Virginia, giving their insights on the 2014 season for the Spartans. Just about a month away now, and Justin, we'll start with you. NSU picked to finish 6th in the preseason MEAC poll, kind of in the middle of the pack there. How do you feel about that? Do you like kind of being under the radar, or would you prefer to be picked higher?
I'm all right with being under the radar right now because by the end of the season, we're going to be number one, be first in the MEAC. So I let everybody sleep on us now, so by the end, they're gonna know who we are.
Definitely like the confidence from one of your senior leaders. Justin, you were picked for the preseason All-MEAC second team. You're one of the more veteran players back on the offensive side of the ball. First of all, congrats on that honor. What do you feel like your role is going to be this year on the offense, especially on the offensive line? Losing a few players from last year, but also have some experience coming back as well.
I'll make sure I'm going to probably bring strong leadership to the offensive line, make sure that everybody's doing the right thing, making sure that we all are ready for this upcoming season. Obviously,
some new coaches on the offensive side of the ball, learning a slightly different system in the spring. How did you feel like spring ball went for you guys on offense, and how would you kind of project things going into the season? How do you feel about things on your side of the football?
Offense, I think, was looking great. I think we've taken a lot of steps forward this spring ball. I see them making a lot of plays, being able to do a lot of different things with our offense. So I'm really excited to see how we progress throughout this spring, throughout the preseason, the camp or whatever. So I'm really ready for the season.
You ready for all the dog days of August there, the two-a-days, the 90-degree weather and all that? You ready to give it one more go and going into your fifth-year senior?
Yeah, this is my last year, so I'm giving it everything I got. So I can't wait to get it started on the 3rd, August 3rd.
And that's Justin Myler. We move over now and look at things on the defensive side of the football with Lynden Trail. First of all, Lynden, congrats on the preseason MEAC Defensive Player of the Year honor. You've gotten a lot of accolades last year and in preseason this year. I'm sure it's nice to have another one there on the resume.
Yeah, it surely is, man. It's a blessing, man. Whenever I get an accolade, man, I give all thanks to God first and foremost. And I have to thank people like my mother, my beautiful girlfriend, and my teammates, man, and my coaches. They've all been very helpful in this process that I've been going through in order to become a senior and graduate and move on to the next level afterwards.
Ask you the same question I asked Justin. Picked to finish 6th in the MEAC, obviously had some ups and downs last year. Maybe not surprising to see NSU picked where we were in the preseason, but how do you feel about it? Do you kind of like to be under the radar a little bit?
I mean, like I've told everybody today, man, I'm happy with where we're at. And if you guys want to rank us 6th in our conference right now, we're happy with it as of right now. But as soon as the season starts, don't get to looking kind of crazy when you see Norfolk State on the upbringing.
NSU had a total of 9 players on the preseason All-MEAC teams, which of course has a first, second, and a third team. 6 of those players on defense, so obviously people seem to recognize that you guys have a lot of talent on that side of the ball.
I mean, our defense is something that's always been our strong point. I did a lot of history research before I transferred into Norfolk State. And, the defense has always been on the up and up. And I feel like this would be the best defense we've had since Pete Adrian has taken over. And it shows. I mean, guys like George Riddick, Noel Clark, and not to mention my counterpart, Deion King, who's a great kid, man. A lot of people see him, think he's undersized, but he does a lot of things, man. He takes a lot of pressure off of me, and this is a kid that you have to watch.
Well, I'll ask you the same thing I asked Justin again in closing. You ready for the dog days of August, the long two-a-days, and the camaraderie out there? I'm sure you guys are going to be building on that practice field these next few weeks.
Oh man, camp is something that's indescribable, man. It's a great feeling and the worst feeling in the world at the same time, man. I mean, but there's no better feeling than being around your teammates 24/7. It's basically how it feels, man. I mean, from waking up to going to sleep, all you're doing is you're working on your craft and getting better every day. And it's just great to know that we all have the same goal in mind, and that's the MEAC championship. Although everybody has us ranked 6th right now, it'll be a real life shocker once you see us hoist the trophy at the end of the year.
We certainly wish you good luck in that regard, and good luck as we head into the 2014 season, only about a month away.
Thank you.
Once again, that's Lynden Trail, senior linebacker, as well as Justin Myler, senior offensive lineman, joining us here today at 2014 MEAC Football Media Day. And welcome back to NSUSpartans.com, fueled by Gatorade. We're coming to you again today from the 2014 MEAC Football Media Day, and now the head coaches have entered the room, and we're joined by Spartan football coach Pete Adrian. Coach, your 10th year now as the head coach at NSU. You're the second longest tenured coach in the conference now, so this isn't your first go-around at Media Day, but I imagine the excitement still has to be there for you since this sort of signifies the end of your summer and football season. Football camp's right around the corner.
Yeah, no question about it. I mean, summer's over with. Camp starts next week. You've got to make sure you get everything ready to go, and excited about getting the season underway, and we can't wait to play University of Maine.
Coach, obviously preseason predictions are just sort of a talking point this time of year. They don't mean a whole lot, but at the same time, good publicity for the league to kind of talk about who's going to do what this year, and predictably we were picked in the middle of the pack, which the players didn't seem to mind when I talked to them earlier, since I'm sure they don't mind being under the radar, and I'd imagine that maybe you feel the same way?
Well, they actually picked right in the middle at number 6 like that, and that's okay because we don't put a whole lot of stock in that stuff anyhow. The year we won the championship, we were picked 7th, so maybe this is pick 6, maybe it'll be number 2.
Well, speaking of preseason predictions, another preseason honor for Lynden Trail, your senior outside linebacker, named the preseason MEAC Defensive Player of the Year. Obviously, he's gotten a lot of accolades between the end of last season and now this year in the preseason as well. What are you looking for out of him heading into his redshirt senior year?
Well, he's been displaying leadership throughout the whole year. We want that to continue like that. Same thing in the practices and whatnot. But, we have a strong defensive unit. There's a bunch of guys on there that are all leaders, and they all seem to be determined, and he's just part of the group.
Obviously, on offense, Coach, you lost a decent amount from last year, but you do have some experience back up front with Mike Phillips and Justin Myler, both named the preseason All-MEAC teams as well. Talk a little bit about how you feel about your offense heading into preseason camp.
Well, I'm actually really excited about it. With Coach Don Hill-Ely and Greg Gregory coming over there, they've done a great job in the spring and a great job of putting in our new offense, if you want to call it. That's a lot of the same stuff we're doing, but we're kind of doing it a little different ways that we're delivering and running it. Kids have responded very well to it, and I can't wait to get out there and just watch it when we get out here and start doing a little scrimmaging.
Obviously, have a number of freshmen as well who are coming in. You had about 11 guys in the summer school bridge program who have gotten acclimated. Obviously, it's early, but how do you feel about that group of freshmen that you have coming in this year?
Well, one thing that we got there, especially with 3 or 4 of them, is just some outstanding speed, and of course they're out there doing their 7-on-7s on their own and running around like that. But there's some guys out there that can really run, so it always puts a smile on your coach, especially from the offensive side of the football, and that's where those guys will be.
I know obviously defense has been a big point of pride for you and point of emphasis throughout your tenure here. 6 preseason All-MEAC selections from your defense, obviously starting with Lynden Trail as well as Darren Mayer on the first team, Keenan Lambert on the second team, George Riddick, Marcel Koch, Deion King on the third team. It just kind of goes on and on. On paper, this seems like it could be one of your more talented groups on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about that. We just have to stay healthy and then make sure from coaching that we take advantage of their skills, and that's what we're planning on doing. We're going to put a lot of pressure on offenses and hopefully get some turnovers, get good field position, and really help the offense out.
It was good to hear earlier talking to Justin as well as Lynden that they're really excited about preseason camp. I'm sure it can get to be really long for the head coaches, or for the coaches and for the players. A very strenuous time period. But what is your favorite thing about preseason camp? Those first couple weeks that you have with your guys, pretty much around the clock.
Well, you're trying to see the bonding going on, see what type of chemistry you have, who's doing what and things of that nature. And that's the big thing. If a team has good chemistry among the whole group and realize it's a team, it's not offense, it's not defense, it's special teams. And that's what we try to develop during camp, that camaraderie where, okay, guys, we're in this all together, because you can't win with just one phase of it. You got to have a full team right there. And I think that's probably the goal of most coaches in this room, to try to come out that way where the team feels good about everything.
Well, Coach, we're just about one month away from the season opener. Certainly a difficult schedule on paper based on how the teams did last year. Opening up at Maine, the CAA champion. You've got William & Mary, another strong program. Buffalo as well. Liberty coming to Dick Price Stadium this year. They've been a really solid program as well. Certainly a challenging schedule, but I imagine that's something that the coaches and players really rally around heading into this time of year.
Yeah, well, we have another thing. We have 4 top 25 teams in FCS plus Division I teams. So 5 of your 12 games, are ranked people, and we're excited about that. I always like to play competition, and hopefully we can come out of that preseason 2 or 3 wins and really roll in the conference.
All right, Coach, well, we certainly look forward to seeing that. Looking forward to the 2014 season, just about a month away, and we'll be talking to you a lot here down the road, of course, on NSUSpartans.com.
All right, thanks, Matt.
Once again, that's Spartan football coach Pete Adrian here at 2014 MEAC Football Media Day. For more information on NSU football, visit our website, nsuspartans.com, fueled by Gatorade.